feel strongly about that?
I think many people do, who have worked in the industry as realtors or loan officers, who know people like that, who are wives of people like that. And it's just that because people don't know, that's how the system was. The government pushed that, Congress pushed that. And there were, you know, that's how the rules were.
Okay. I'm sorry. We are going to do it, and we're going to prosecute those who violated the law. Now, I suppose what we ought to be talking about here is the punishment that'll be meted out after it is determined that they violated the law. Now,
Not they. See, the loan officers didn't violate the laws.
I didn't say they did.
You did. You said you're going to go off there.
That's right. Those that broke the law, whether it's a loan officer,
The loan officers didn't break the law. They were
then they don't have to worry. Then they don't have to worry. Isn't that right? Yes, sir.
I want to take issue with your attack on 40B. I think you're reacting to some headlines of particular cases, but if you take a look at over the last 10 years, 40B didn't exist. Affordable housing wasn't being built.
That's right. 80% of the housing starts in the last 10 years have been under Chapter 40B. When I see that sort of thing going on, it means somebody's making a lot of money. I didn't say it was going to be thrown out the baby with the wash. So under question number 2 on the ballot this November, I support it. It should go down, and then we're going to rewrite it. And we're going to allow the industry to come in and tell us what should we do. I'm the Attorney General, and there's something that has to be done with Chapter 40B. It's actually on the ballot. It's question 2. With regard to casinos, and I'm way over my time here. I want to study building a gambling casino on Peddocks Island, which was in the town boundaries of Hull. Hull had voted to put a gambling casino in Nantasket because they needed money. And I saw that. I called up the selectmen and I said, look, would you folks be opposed if the MDC, if we had a worldwide request for proposals to develop something on Peddocks Island, and we allowed the gambling casino industry to give us a proposal? And I said to the governor, let's take, if it comes in and it works out, let's take the money from the casino and apply it to the cleanup of Boston Harbor. Wow, pretty good idea. I've never gambled 1 red cent. I don't put a nickel in a slot machine. I've never gambled in my life. But if people want to gamble, that's up to them. But the theory being here that in 1980 I proposed this, and you would think that I mugged Mother Teresa. The Globe really went after me, that I was going to build a gambling casino on Peddocks Island and Alton Harbor. I never said that.
And you got to put an X or a check. You didn't say it.
Yeah, you got to fill in
You got to put an X or a check behind your name.
You got to fill in the oval.
Yeah, the oval. That's what I just said. You folks fill in the oval, don't you?
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Boston has got the connect the arrows, and some people have paper ballots. You got to put an X, all right? But in Medford, all you do is you just write Guy Carboni, Belmont, fill in the oval, and you voted for me. And if you're an independent, you immediately go back to being an independent. In the old days, you had to fill in a card to go back to being an independent. You don't have to do that anymore. You just vote, and then you immediately go back to being an independent. And
you only need 10,000 votes to be
you
in
need
the
10,000 to get on the ballot, but Martha Copley, I'm sure, is going to challenge. I'm sure she is. And then there are going to be some Democrats that are town clerks that are going to find something wrong. So we got to get about 13,000 or 14,000 just to make sure it's fine.
Is McKenna on the ballot now?
No.
No.
No, he's a writer.
He's a writer.
You don't have to put addresses, just the town.
Yeah. He,
Milbury. I was just given.
Don't tell them.
No, it's all right.
thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, and just, you know, regardless, as you know, regardless of where I stand on any candidate, we always try to, make sure that all of you are informed. We've been making an effort over the last year to make sure every candidate that wants to be here gets an opportunity. We have never got a response back from Mr. McKenna from Millbury, but he too has to have stickers. Either of, or both of them have to have the 10,000 to be on the ballot in November. But however, whomever makes 10,000 and has more than the other, assuming they both make their 10,000, then the majority rules. So Speaking of candidates, we have a gentleman with us who is also running for office as a Republican for Governor's Council. Paul Caruccio is a small businessman, and I believe you have a shop in Medford, or did? You did have a shop in Medford, and he can explain that to you. So this is almost like hometown. In any case, he's running for Governor's Council in the 6th District, and I'll let Paul make his story.
Hi, and thank you for welcoming me here this evening. I do appreciate it. As Bernie said, some of you in Medford may recognize me, as I did run a business in Medford for almost 5 years. I did enjoy it. Sorry not to be here any longer. And I'll take up just a minute of your time. As Bernie said, I'm a businessman. I'm not an attorney, and although I can listen to Guy Carbone talk forever because he speaks so eloquently, as a businessman, we need to, hit the points and move on. So I'll just tell you a little bit about myself. I have been a small businessman as of October 26th of this year for 30 years. I'm entering my 30th year as a successful small business person. And I have not been involved in politics in any meaningful way. Have not run, hey Jerry, have not run for political office. I have been involved, and I do pay attention politically, and have decided that I really don't like the road that we're going down, both locally and nationally. And I've been asked why I am involved in politics all of a sudden, and I guess the only reason for that is patriotism. And although that sounds lofty, I'm tired of watching people in public office enriching themselves first and representing us, if at all, second to that. And the position I'm running for is Governor's Council. It is an important position, but unfortunately it's one which is unrecognized by most of the public, and because of that, it doesn't really get the due that it's worth. The Governor's Council is an 8-member board, and their primary responsibility currently is to review judicial nominees, and they provide advice and consent to the governor on judicial nominees. The reason that's important is the judiciary is a full branch, one of the 3 branches of our government. And in this state, when you are appointed as a judge, you are appointed for life. It's a lifetime appointment. So if you don't have a good person in there, it's very difficult to remove them, and you're stuck with that judge forever. And there has been a series of judges that have served in this state and have really served very poorly, and we've been unable to remove them. There's been judges who have been appointed, and they have decided that they had a disability because of a bad upbringing in their childhood, and have filed for disability as a result. And this is something that we really don't have much control over. I am running as a Republican. I know that there's a large Democrat population in the Medford and Everett area. However, I think that it's appropriate to have a balance of both Democrat and Republican in that seat in order to get the best perspective, in order to vet the judges properly, and to get a good candidate. If I am elected, I have several priorities which I would be looking for in a judicial nominee. And the first one is I want to ensure that any nominee is a strong proponent of the U.S. Constitution. As simple as that sounds, I want somebody who believes in the Constitution, believes in the country, and doesn't try to set their agenda and interpret the Constitution for their own benefit. I'm very concerned with making sure that the judiciary protects the public and is prepared to issue strong sentences for hardened criminals, and yet still has the insight to recognize those individuals that can be turned around and can enter as productive citizens. I want to remove those individuals who might be prone to legislating from the bench, which I think is something that you see more and more of, certainly on a national schedule, on a national basis, and it's just uncalled for and inappropriate.